Hey guys, this is Zach Wiley with Zach Concrete, and I just wanted to show you the finished project. We're just kind of stepping in and hanging out with the client real quick, just double checking on their floors. But this is the metallic epoxy with a top coat on it. So we use Primera T2M as the top coat. It's a very clear product. Put it down pretty thick for this guy, just, nothing too crazy, but thick enough to make this floor really pop and to protect for a very, very long time. But this floor, again, this is a very unique project. I mean, metallic epoxy is always unique. It has its own troubles. And we definitely had some dust kind of getting to the floor, but the client didn't care. We knew it was going to happen. The level of prep that we could do was kind of limited here in this job. But still absolutely gorgeous. But this floor was a very unique one for us. So again, like I mentioned in one of my previous videos, metallic epoxy is nothing new. It's one of the more crazy and beautiful and very creative floors out there. I mean, look at this laundry room. Just it looks so natural yet so wild. I mean, I don't know how to explain metallic epoxy other than it's just gorgeous. Sorry, I might be showing you the wall instead of the floor here. But yeah, so metallic epoxy, great, but epoxy is very sensitive, right, to any sort of movement. It's a very rigid surface, like I mentioned in one of my previous videos here. So in doing this, we did this on a wood subfloor. So this was a wood subfloor. We didn't prep this floor anymore. We didn't crawl under the house, reinforce, the joists or anything like that. We didn't do any of that kind of prep work, even though it was offered, at a cost, of course, but we didn't do that. It wasn't in the scope of work. So what we did was we used two moisture, not moisture vapor barriers, but we used two membranes. So they're flexible membranes that are an epoxy style product, that they're really not flexible membrane. Let's call them a shock absorber, and that's what they're called, as a flexible membrane. But truthfully, to me, it's more, if you think about it, it's like a shock absorber. Or even like in concrete, when you're in a driveway and you put in control joints, you're trying to make it so when concrete cracks, and all concrete's going to crack, it cracks in that control joint. So this flexible membrane is acting as a shock absorber. So if it does crack, because this floor is a wooden substrate, right? Under here you have joists, and then you have 3/4 inch plywood, and then we have these little like shim boards, like 1/4 inch plywood on top of that, just to level it out with the existing floor system behind this board, so that this whole floor is perfectly level now. And that's great. But again, it's still wood, so it's going to flex when moisture is involved. Heat, cold, anything, it's going to flex. When you're walking on wood, it's going to flex, right? No matter how well you prepare it, it's not concrete, right? It's not a rock, it's not a stone. This is wood, it's going to flex. So most of the times when you do this, if you were to install epoxy on this type of a floor, it's going to crack, and it's only a matter of time. And so with this project, the hope is, and nothing is ever guaranteed with this type of a thing, because it's kind of an oddball project, but we're very confident that this is going to work out for a very long time for this customer, by putting down not just one, but two layers of a flexible membrane. We're really giving this floor a lot of support, a lot of protection, and really ensuring that this product is going to last for years to come. So we're going to take all the stops and precautions for this job though too. So we're really telling the client, wait 24 to 48 hours before you move anything heavy onto this floor. Really let that epoxy cure out, let the top coat cure out. Let's get all the support that we possibly can into this floor. But not only do we do the two moisture, I keep calling it an MVB, a moisture vapor barrier, but not only would we include two layers of the flexible membrane, we also did the mesh fiber tape along every joint, just to try to add any rigidity that we could to this floor. We could have broadcasted sand into this floor if we wanted to, if they wanted more of a satin finish or something like that, or more of a textured floor, but that would have also given it strength. But we did not do that. This is a high gloss finish. As you can see, it's a beautiful mirror. It's gorgeous. We love it. So two flexible membranes, and then of course we did a base coat of epoxy here, and then we threw our metallics down on top of that and whatnot, and we really just have a beautiful two-tone gray floor with some hot chocolate accents in it. Really turned out great. We love it. We wish we could probably done a little bit more prep work, but the client, we didn't really have a lot of room to move appliances and other things into like a storage container or something like that, and really plastic off the walls. It was a much more fluid situation than what we would normally do for a metallic epoxy, where you basically turn it into a clean room so you don't get a bunch of dust on your floor. But the client was really not concerned with that, and it was more of just, hey, we still got to live in this home. We're not going to do this, and that's totally fine. But every other time that we're going to do a metallic epoxy job, vents are getting sealed off. HX is going to be awful. We're applying things are going to be sealed up. We're going to be putting air filters out just to try to catch as much dust and particulates as possible. But other than that, the dust that got on the floor, while it may have created a comet, which I'll show you guys really quick, these are comets in the floor. Normally this is something that we would say oh no, that's a blemish. But, this customer, they understood that that was a possibility and that it was likely going to happen, and they were happy with it. They were totally fine with it. It looks great. So they're very pumped about it. They're happy. They're excited. We're walking on it right now just to show them, hey, this floor is good to go. And, we got their sign off and their blessing, of course, and they're very happy. So that's wonderful. So probably by tomorrow night, they're going to be able to move everything kind of back into this floor, and the epoxy is going to be just fine for them. And we're really looking forward to seeing all their furniture back into this home and getting some pictures from that too. But anyway, guys, this is Zach Wiley with Zachary Daniel Concrete, showing you a metallic epoxy floor done on a wooden substrate. And my gosh, does it look good.